Previously on YouTube's The Drawing Dead.
Why can't I just be at Stones?
Obviously, the Costco card helps me because a Costco card helps everybody.
I'm going to reinvest my money into the community.
Oh, that's
I mean, I've always said that if you can get to the second biggest game in the room and it's sort of, deeper stack, which is why I love those Bay Area or the Sacramento games, where it's matched the stack. I see some of the better pros right around after I'm playing the stream up on Stones. They're playing 1-3. If you have the luxury of playing in a structure like that, it's a really good way to make a lot of money, obviously, to sit deep with really bad players.
It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business.
At this point in the session, not much had happened. I had probably won a couple pots with small pocket pairs that didn't belong to me, and I was returning a text message when I looked down at my favorite hand, Pocket Jacks. You'll have to forgive the wonkiness of this footage. I mean, I'm holding the camera in my left hand, I'm trying to play and bet with my right hand, and it's all just kinda complicated. With me in the hijack and one limper in front of me, I decide to make it $15 to go. The big blind calls, and the limper calls as well, and we see the flop three ways.
3 players.
Top set. 2 hearts. A little bit coordinated, but I can work with this. Especially when both players decide to check to me.
Check.
Even though the flop is a little bit coordinated, there's no need to bet super large and blow people out of the water.
30.
I decide to bet about 3/4 the pot, or about $30, and only the big blind calls.
Heads up.
The turn brings the 8 of spades, pairing the 8 and improving my hand to a full house. I decide now to bet $65, which, if the big blind calls, will leave him about 120 behind.
65.
I get what I asked for, and he does call, and off to the river we go. Since it's pretty unlikely that he himself holds a jack, he most likely holds some sort of draw. Maybe a flush draw, maybe a straight draw, maybe both. My dream river card here would be at heart, which would hopefully improve his hand. A queen or even a 7 would do nicely, as those would both bring in possible straight draws. The 3 of spades on the river, however, isn't exactly what I was looking for. But at this point, there's already over $200 in the pot. He only has $120 left, so I decide to just go for gold. And since I have him covered, I just move all in. He must have bricked everything because he very quickly folds. Watch this hand. See what happens here? Yeah, this is going to be a theme going forward. Typically when I'm playing on a low stakes table with a lot of players that like to limp, my default behavior is to raise any hand that I deem playable when I enter the pot. Not only does this give me control of the action as the pre-flop raiser, but it allows me to represent stronger hands on subsequent streets. 8-5 suited, late position, 1 limper in front of me, I make it
15.
Both the cutoff and early position limper choose to call, and we see the flop 3 ways. As far as flops go, this is A1+. Not only because I flop the nuts, but also because the board is very wet and is very likely to hit the type of hands that would limp call or overcall my raise with pre-flop. For those reasons, I can begin shoveling money into this pot.
50.
125. All in.
So to recap, I've bet pot on the flop, been re-raised to 125, and then back shoved on, all while I hold the nuts. The cutoff has about 200 behind, and now I need to figure out a sizing that will commit him to getting most of it in the middle before an action-killing turn card comes, of which there are many. The cutoff does get away from my small re-raise, and that action-killing card does come. However, it doesn't help the all-in early position limper who has bottom two pair. My flop straight holds when the river bricks his full house draw, and I scoop a sizable pot.
So that's it, we're all done at Stones. And let's make this thing quick so I can wake up or whatever the f and get back to St. Louis. And it's a bit late. It's a bit late to still be here, if I'm even really here. But you know what? I bought into a 2-5 game, $4,000, and the 2-5 game got bad, and it broke, and I jumped into a 1-3 game. In total, I cashed out for $3,025, so up over $2 grand tonight. But I think it's time to get back to St. Louis. All right, headed back in. Let's try hard not to make something happen. That's what we're doing.
One limper to me on the button, and I look down at a suited ace-8 of diamonds. A very playable hand and a very raisable hand as long as you have enough self-discipline to be able to fold it if you flop an ace and meet a lot of resistance. My $15 raise gets called by the small blind and the under the gun limper. 7 deuce deuce flop checks to me, and although I could bet here, I decide to check behind to see what develops on the turn. Another diamond on the turn, giving me the nut flush draw and still 2 overcards, and it's checked to me again. This is now too good of a spot for me to check behind once more, so I bet $25. And they both, rather quickly, fold. Pocket pairs, they're just not working out for me. The range that a villain will limp call when heads up pre-flop never ceases to amaze me. There's really nothing special about this hand pre-flop. One limper, I raise with pocket aces, and he calls. His flop action is what puzzles me. King high flop with 2 diamonds and he checks it over to me. I begin the motion of grabbing chips to bet, and he folds. What range of hands are you limp calling with pre-flop that's folding to the sheer motion of me grabbing chips? It must be a hand like pocket threes because every other hand picked up equity on this flop. Like I've said 100 times in this vlog, one of the key attributes of a winning poker player is patience. Just be patient. Don't force action. It'll come to you. Oh boy, what in the hell am I doing? Mixing up your play is often profitable, but Queen 3 offsuit? Really, Jaman? Really? Well, we are heads up and he has checked you, so I guess betting is okay if you find yourself in this spot with Queen 3 offsuit. I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
The love-hate relationship we all have with Ace-King continues in this hand when I open to 15 in early position and get called by the cutoff, the button, and the big blind. Off to the flop we go, 4 ways. The flop comes Jack 10-8 with 3 diamonds, and I think a continuation bet here against 3 other people out of position is a little ambitious, so I decide to check. Action checks over to the cutoff who bets a tiny $15, and I end up being the only caller with my 2 overs and my gut shot. My quest for improved equity fails miserably when the 6 of spades hits the turn, and this is just the check fold situation when the cutoff bets $50.
Session is done. It is all over, and I'm ready to get out of here, get into my car, and go to bed. Hey, wasn't that cool? I was here, and then there was like a dream sequence thing, and then I was there, and now we're back to me being here again. Huh. I know this is gonna sound weird, because at the mid-session update, I said the table was horrible, which it was. And I said I was card dead, which I was, but I was in the game for 400 and out for 822 in about 5.5 hours. So I left up 422, so you would think, well, damn, Jaman, you weren't that card dead. But I really was. I think I played like 5 to 10 hands over like a 5.5 hour period. So do the math. The majority of my time was spent folding over and over and over. But thankfully for me, I got that little trip in the middle. But don't take this the wrong way. That's just how poker is sometimes. You guys know this. You play poker, you know that you just fold for hours on end some sessions? That's just how it goes. I can't dilly-dally in this car all night because I got to go home and get my black ass to bed. And that's what I'm going to do. But hey, if you still like the videos, even after this boring ass vlog, hit the thumbs up icon. Leave me a comment and I will probably respond, and subscribe so you get notifications. And I will catch you, who knows, soon. I'll catch you soon. Bye.
Next time on YouTube's The Drawing Dead.
To call Hollywood Casino.
Calling Hollywood Casinos mobile.
Of the 10 players at the table, I would say probably 7 of them have a clue as to what's going on. That's not what I'm looking for. So we are back home in the 2-5 game for $1 grand. You'll have to forgive the wonkiness of this. I think I played like 5 to 10 hands over like a... That's just how it... Leave me a comment and I will probably... I just happened to win a couple big pots. And I happened to get a couple bluffs through. Other than like 5 hands, it was all folding. For hours. I can't dilly-dally, but unfortunately... At this point in the session, not much had happened. I had stolen a couple... At this point in the session, not much had happened. I'd probably stolen a couple pots with pocket... I wish I could tell you what Especially not bad for one night. I was doing so well. I was doing so well. I was doing that part so well. So like always, why don't we get in focus first? We did it, sir. We filmed the whole thing on my camera. First I have to think of something to say. So hey, if you like the videos, hit the thumbs up icon, leave me a comment and I will probably respond. Even though the flop is a little bit coordinated, there's no need to bet super... Ugh. You'll have to forgive the wonkiness of this footage. I mean, I'm holding the camera in my left hand and I'm trying to play and bet with my right hand, and it's free. It's poker content on YouTube.
Living it up, I guess that's the way it goes when you're supposed to win.